Hey guys, it's Bree, and this is my multimodal presentation. My topic is about why African Americans need free resources to get to their lineage and to their ancestry. I know growing up, I was surrounded by my ancestry and my heritage, and I was drawn down to knowing it and knowing where I came from. My dad was born in Bata, Equatorial Guinea, and his mother came from the DR, and my mom was born and raised in South Carolina. So there's a lot going on, but my mother's side, they don't know their ancestry past their great great grandmother, which is sad. I mean, all of those relatives before them are just gone and forgotten. My dad's side, now that's a totally different story. We have many different ways to keep our ancestors alive by rituals or just plain old memory. But here's a little video just to describe the sweet old Equatorial Guinea and what's known as my dad's side.
I would love for you all to tell me where you're from.
I am from many places. I am from Brooklyn, New York. That's where I was born and raised, but I'm also from Sierra Leone, West Africa, because that's where my father was born and raised. And I'm also from Equatorial Guinea, because that's where my mother was born, but she was raised in Freetown. So growing up in my house, I was raised around Creole culture and Mende culture, so that's what I'm used to. So I think about Brooklyn and I think about Sierra Leone.
My father is originally from Cuba. They are Cubanos. He migrated to Sierra Leone in West Africa.
What languages were y'all speaking at home?
They talk Creole. You say you sabi Creole. You get for talk some Creole with me today. Let me interview you now. How you day they go for you today? Miss Chantal.
Yes.
Now, that was a lot to take in, I would say, but as you can see, the Guinea culture is very important to me, and as she said, it makes her feel good to know what her ancestry is. You can see Equatorial Guinea is very small. It's on the west side of Africa, and it's near, I want to say, the Cameroon area, and Nigeria is right on the coast of Africa. Well, you remembered I said we celebrate our ancestors. Well, we do have a ritual where it's celebrating the Igun. Igun just means plain old ancestors. Here's a video explaining what the ritual is and how it's important. Now, the language is kind of explicit, so beware, but we're all grown, so I think we can handle it.
Yeah, forgetting is the true death. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, people want to say, "Oh, send $5.99 and I'll show you how to set up your ego." What? Why somebody got to have somebody else show them how to set up their ego? You know what your people eat. You know what your people like. You don't have the same thing. This is a little Saturday lunch. I like watching cooking shows. This is a lunch. This is a Saturday lunch for Egon.
Who are Egon?
Egon are your ancestors. Everybody got them. Remember, 2 parents, 4 grandparents. Be like Jay-Z. It's on the phone. This onion older than all of us, so I'm going to have to peel it down to the next level. Because even though they deceased, you don't want to give them anything that you wouldn't eat yourself. They are you on the other side, and you are them on this side. So that's what ancestors are. And so people say, "Oh, I'm not into that." No, you worshiping white people ancestors with your George Washington ass every other day, and it's Lincoln's birthday. Who? So that's Egon. We give them a little something to remind them that although they've left the body, they have not left the minds and the hearts of people. So we're just sharing the bounty of life, which is food that we share with one another. See? Yeah. Give it to me. It don't say Cajun, it says what?
Creole.
Okay, now. People want to know what's the difference between Cajun and Creole. Race. Arcadians from Canada. Whitey. In the bayou. That's cooking for Egon. We're going to see the reveal. I'm gonna put some fresh coffee down. I'm gonna tap the stick. I'm gonna remind them to come on. We love them. Get message to our ancestors. We're connected to you. We love you. And we hope that you always support us and look for us in the world. That's my mother.
So now this woman, she comes from Louisiana and celebrates it in California. Our celebration is a little different. Instead of saving a fish in the pots on the ground for the head of the household to eat, we actually wait for the fish eyes to turn. If the fish eyes turn white, then that means that the ancestors are with us. If the fish eyes don't, then that means that just the ancestors are not with us. Now, the days that it lies on the ground, that can oddly depends. If the fish head is white, like as soon as you put it on the ground, then I mean, you can let it sit for like a couple hours after the celebration. After everybody leaves, you know, the head of the household will pick it up and take it. But if the fish eyes are like clear, then it will stay on the ground until the fish eyes are white. But you're probably wondering, ew, that's nasty, all the bugs. Actually, the food stays preserved until the head of the household or the head of the family picks it up out the circle. It is actually a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. I have witnessed it every single year of my life. So I love it. I just love being around my family and conducting those rituals just to know my ancestry and my family. But to any African Americans or people of color in the room, like, just by hearing that, have you ever wondered what power of your ancestors lies within you? I conducted a survey on asking students whether they knew their ancestry past their paternal and maternal great-grandparents. Let's look at their answers.
Yeah, I do.
Yes. Yes.
I do not, unfortunately. I just know my grandmother, both of my grandmothers. But other than that, no, they died like when I was really young and stuff like that. So I can't really have a memory of them and stuff.
I can't say I do. Yes, I do.
I do not.
Okay.
I know my great grandmother, but I know like my great grandfather. He's very famous. His name is Robert Smalls. I don't know if you guys know the storyline behind him, but back when slavery was going on, and they were sailing the slaves on one of the ships, he took over one of the ships, and he became a politician and a writer. But look him up. My great granddaddy famous.
So as you can see in the video, in the videos of the survey, unfortunately, only 2 people of color knew their ancestry, I believe. You know, when I asked the Caucasian people, like, it was very like, yes, I know it, I'm happy to know it. But once it came to the people of color and African Americans, they did not know it at all. And it's very sad to see. It's important to know our ancestry so they won't meet their true death, as they said in my family, as they said it in the Louisiana woman family, from our mother's garden. Who else knows how many people of color, like, you know, have a significant person in their history, like Robert Smalls, in their bloodline? Like, that's crazy. Like, knowing your ancestry helps knowing who you are as a person and how you identify yourself. How you proceed with that, carrying on the legacy of that every day, it makes you feel powerful. I know I do. Like, I feel powerful every single time I walk out the door, like, knowing who I am confidently. There are billion-dollar companies like Ancestry.com or 23andMe that charges just to take a deeper look on African American ancestry. At the University of Southern California, they have even partnered with these companies, but most of their databases are paper documentation, which African Americans can have trouble with, which is again why these resources need to be free towards people of color. I am a proud Guinea woman, but what heritage can you be proud of? Thank you.
We have to call the names of the ancestors, of the people that have brought us to this point. We came in as enslaved Africans, distributed throughout the world. The fact that we exist is a miracle. It's a miracle because we have decided intentionally to recreate our lives, recreate family. We didn't come with family, we recreated family. We insisted on family, we insisted on community. So you go to the Terreiros of Brazil, you go to the home forts of Haiti, we recreated family, spiritual family, blood family over time. My mother was special to me, my grandmother special to me, my dad, my brothers and sisters. It's my responsibility to write about them. And it's our responsibility to make sure that our people are not invisible, that our people are seen as agents of change because we built this country. We built it. Any monument that you see, we built, right? So how do you not call our people's names?